Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. Today I'm in my kitchen and I'm going to show you how I make my superfood smoothie every single day of my life. I consider it the cornerstone to my healthy lifestyle, and I want to share my recipe for my daily superfood smoothie. If that sounds good to you, please stay tuned. Later in the video, I will include a graphic with this entire recipe, and you can just take a screenshot of that and save it to your photos if you're interested. Okay, let's get into it. So recently on a video where I answered some questions that had come in for me to celebrate hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube, I was asked how I stay fit. And in answering that question, I shared that every single day of my life, I start my morning with the same breakfast every day, which is with a superfood smoothie. My husband and I both eat this same smoothie every day with slight variations depending on our personal taste. And we both feel as though this particular practice has provided us with better nutrition than we've ever had. I can also say for myself that I find that it is so satisfying and nourishing that it decreases my desire for unhealthful foods. This is really key for me because for a lot of years, my breakfast was usually like a piece of fruit and then maybe toast or cereal, like a scone or something. And I would generally find that that type of breakfast would leave me very hungry in the middle of the morning by 10:30. And by the time lunch came around, if it were a work day or something like that, I would then be craving kind of hot, greasy food to make up for the nutritional deficits that had been set by my morning. I have found that this particular smoothie seems to correct that. As I talk, I'll be sharing some B-roll footage I took this morning while I was making the smoothie. After I poured it into the glass, I then drank the smoothie immediately and then didn't get any footage of that. So rather than make a smoothie here right now just to show you me drinking it and then possibly waste it, I'm just going to let you use your imagination and know that I did actually drink the smoothie that I'm showing you later, but I will show you how I put it together. The key thing I wanted to share about the smoothie is that it's not a smoothie for weight loss. The point of drinking this smoothie every day is to flood my body with nourishment from fruits and vegetables and high protein superfoods in order to feed myself. And I find that this particular smoothie recipe is delicious, it is virtuous, full of fiber and protein and vitamins. It's miraculous, but I've never gotten bored of it. I'm literally eating the same thing for breakfast every day for years. Lunch and dinner can be anything at all, but I have found, generally speaking, that having this particular routine every single morning has improved my life. It has improved my mornings, it's improved my energy, eliminated my cravings for some of those bad foods that I have an affection for, like fried chicken and that type of thing. So let me talk you through it. This is what we put in the smoothie every day. In terms of equipment, any blender will do. We happen to use this NutriBullet thing. It comes with these carafes, and then you fit them onto the blending device and twist it, and it blends it within the carafe, and then you can turn it up and put a lid on this. You can pop the lid right on, and then I usually personally stick a straw in it because I've had accidents if I try to drink directly from the top of the cup. So that's just what I use in terms of equipment, and each of us will make a smoothie every morning during the weekday that winds up filling this carafe, which is 20 ounces. So we're talking about making a really giant smoothie. I've watched some other YouTube videos on how to make smoothies, and people will pour it into like a small cup or like a stemless wine glass. I think that's great if you're having a smoothie as a snack as part of a breakfast. For us, this smoothie is huge and very filling. That's part of why I think this works. I think if we made a smaller smoothie, I don't know if it would sustain us so long. Usually, if I drink this at around 7:30, 8 a.m., I'm not hungry again until 1 p.m. And when 1 p.m. comes around, I find that I'm looking for a light lunch, maybe a little soup, maybe a salad, maybe peppers and hummus, that type of thing. What I'm not looking for is a big greasy hamburger with French fries, which in the past, if I let myself get too hungry too early in the morning, I was at risk of choosing those types of things because I was so hungry. First thing we do is we put maybe about a half a cup of crushed ice at the bottom of the carafe. Our refrigerator happens to have an ice crushing mechanism, so we just use that every morning and put that directly in the cup. Next step is the banana. Generally speaking, every morning I'm making 2 carafes full of these smoothies. So we take a single banana, cut it in half, and 1/2 of the banana goes in each carafe. For a long time, we did put an entire banana in, but ultimately felt like it might just be a little too much and have settled on half a banana for our recipe. Bananas are great because they provide fiber and potassium along with other vitamins as well. Next, we usually start with a small apple. We'll buy, bags full of kind of smaller apples, not the giant Honey Crisps. Cut up the apple, and each smoothie will get half of a small apple. Apples provide quite a lot of fiber, which helps the smoothie to have some form of body. When we've ever had to go without the apple because we ran out, we always notice that the smoothie feels a little thin and not quite as robust. So the apple is really great both for sweetness and flavor as well as really excellent fiber. We also include a piece of a peeled cucumber. If you wanted to include the peel, that's your choice. We don't, mostly for texture reasons. Cucumber really does help with the texture of the smoothie, and it also provides quite a lot of hydration in the smoothie. We also include leafy green vegetables. I personally prefer spinach. My husband prefers baby kale. Put about a 1/2 cup packed of fresh leafy greens, sometimes more. Sometimes I'll overdose my spinach. It seems to keep me on track, and it also kind of puts me in that leafy green space where later in the day I'll also want another salad. It just keeps me on track. So a good handful of a leafy green of your choice. Those are all of the fresh fruits and vegetables that go into the smoothie. I live in Michigan, and one of the resources we have here is a company called Michigan Farm to Freezer. The northern part of Michigan produces quite a lot of cherries and other types of fruit. We will buy bags of these pitted frozen cherries from Michigan Farm to Freezer. You should be able to find frozen cherries in your freezer section as well, but this is where we happen to buy ours. They sell both sweet cherries and tart cherries. We buy both. Right now, the open bag that we're using, the one I used today, is full of tart cherries, which slightly alters the flavor, but it's still very delicious. We put about a 1/2 cup of these cherries, sometimes more, into a glass bowl because these are frozen solid right now. We also will use about a 1/2 cup of blueberries. Right now from Costco, we bought a giant bag of these wild blueberries. They say that wild blueberries have more antioxidants and more vitamins than farmed blueberries. So when we can, we try to pick up this particular product from Costco, and we'll usually buy a couple of bags. You can see these blueberries are very small. Blueberries are an excellent source of antioxidants and fiber and other vitamins and minerals as well. And so we'll put about 1/2 cup into the same bowl. And then because these are frozen, I'll just pop these into the microwave for 30 seconds just to soften them. I find personally that getting the berries and cherries just a little above freezing allows me to taste them better. If I put them in just frozen solid, they're a little bit too cold and you don't get the benefit of their delicious flavor. They make the smoothie taste great, and it also provides beautiful color to the smoothie. Those are all of the fresh fruits and vegetables that go into our smoothie, but we need to add protein and fats to the smoothie to make it satisfying so that we are sustained throughout the long morning. So the first thing that we include is a nut butter. We choose peanut butter, but any nut butter will be good. The brand that we choose here comes from Michigan. It comes out of Grand Rapids, and it's very delicious. The only ingredients are peanuts and sea salt, and I would recommend the same to you. Look for a peanut butter or nut butter that is just the nuts and salt if you prefer. We like the salt. I think it adds a little deliciousness to the smoothie. For each smoothie, I'll take one of our large soup spoons and put a heaping amount of peanut butter in each smoothie. So in this case, I'm just making one heaping soup spoon full of this peanut butter into the smoothie. We do eat dairy products, not a lot, but they are a part of our diet. And so we also include in our smoothie a high protein, plain, unsweetened yogurt. Today we're using a brand called Siggi's, which offers a very high level of protein. This particular container is a 4% milk fat yogurt, but sometimes we also use non-fat. I definitely recommend unsweetened here. You have so many sugars from the fruits that are in the smoothie already. You do not need to add any more sugar via the yogurt. I highly recommend plain unsweetened yogurt. So again, here, a heaping soup spoon full of yogurt goes into the smoothie. The last step is to add water. Again, I just put the carafe under our water dispenser in our fridge, and I usually just eyeball it. A couple of inches of water in the carafe is really all you need. This is critical for the smoothie to blend, and it also adds hydration. Once all of this is done, the smoothie is ready to blend, and I pop the carafe into the NutriBullet and let it run, usually 30 seconds up to a minute sometimes. And that's it. You can pop the top off, pour it into a glass, or use one of the caps and a straw, and you have your breakfast. The smoothie winds up measuring about 20 ounces. It is full of vitamins, minerals, protein, fiber, and hydration. And I eat this smoothie every single day of the week. Monday through Friday, both my husband and I have a full 20-ounce smoothie. On the weekends, we make eggs and toast, and then we make one smoothie and split it. So that's why I'm putting this smoothie today into 2 different glasses. So even if we're having eggs and toast for breakfast, we still don't feel like we're fully nourished if we don't have a half of a smoothie as part of our breakfast. I'm going to put a graphic card up next with the complete recipe. Feel free to take a screenshot of this recipe and put it into use in your life. I can only speak from my experience, but I can say that since we started making this smoothie every day, I feel like it reset my entire expectation of what I eat in a day. I've increased the amount of fruits and vegetables I eat every day, which is a super common health advice from the medical community, so I feel good about that. One caveat is that if you're not accustomed to eating this way, the introduction of this high volume of hydration and fiber so early in your morning might surprise your system. You know what I'm saying, right? It's a lot of fiber. So just know that that might be the case. But listen, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I also feel as though the smoothie has promoted healthy digestion for me personally, and I'll leave that right there. We used to include a scoop of powdered protein from Trader Joe's. It was made from the vegetable peas, so pea protein. We love this one. It didn't include any artificial flavors or fake sugars or any of those things. It was just like clean tasting and disappeared into the smoothie. For some reason, Trader Joe's discontinued it. It's a huge bummer, and we haven't found a protein powder that we like enough to substitute, so we've just been going without it. So I'm also very interested to hear if anybody out there has a recommendation along these lines. Again, ideally a vegetable-based protein and absolutely with no flavoring or fake sugars. So I definitely want to hear from you. And if you work for Trader Joe's, could you please, please, please bring back your pea protein, your vegan pea protein in the big tubs? We will absolutely buy that if you bring it back. Okay, that's all I have for this week. I hope everybody's doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon.